AI is hopefully going to help humans, not replace humans.
Like with any tool, you have to be able to tell how you can efficiently use it and what areas might be able to simplify, but also in what scenarios you shouldn't use it.
AI is going to be my personal assistant.
There's just so much work that needs to be done, a lot of data that needs to be combed through. We don't have enough people to do it. There needs to be a human doing the quarterbacking or being the air traffic controller.
AI was certainly a big topic at this year's Thrive, Morgan Stanley at Work's annual client conference for all things equity compensation and workplace benefits. There was excitement for what these new tools would bring, but also some apprehension about the effects of this rapid shift. On this season of Invested at Work, we've spoken with some of the brightest minds in the industry about how AI is already shaping how we work and what's still to come. I'm Rodney Bolden, Head of Industry Engagement and Learning for Morgan Stanley at Work. And this is Invested at Work, a show about unlocking the power of workplace financial benefits for companies and their employees. Conversations with industry leaders this season range from employee engagement, executive compensation, the founder mindset, and so much more. If you missed any of these episodes, go check them out. Lots of great insights. And no surprise, AI was a recurring theme. I wanted to get at the heart of this hot button topic, so I asked our guests, how are you using AI in your workplace? And perhaps more importantly, how are people feeling about it? And we put it all together for you here in a special AI bonus episode. The Pew Research Center released a report earlier this year about employees' views on using AI in the workplace. The dominant feeling? Worried, with more than half of respondents naming that as their primary feeling about AI at work. But my first guest this season, Johnny C. Taylor Jr., President and CEO of the Society for Human Resource Management, actually doesn't think people are worried enough. Here's some of our conversation. What we've seen in research and data, such as in the EBRI, Greenwald Research, only about a third of employees now say that they're concerned that AI will take their job. So that's no longer the case, you know, where employees are overwhelmingly thinking, back in the sci-fi fiction, science fiction movie days where AI was going to take over everything. They're not as concerned, and smaller groups of employees are concerned.
That worries me because I think they should be.
Okay.
I do think that it's going to have a more profound effect on employment than people are willing to say and admit. Part of it is it would create outright fear if you told people that 30% of the jobs will go away or be so meaningfully reconstituted that they will go away.
Right.
AI is going to make some of these jobs go away forever. And if the people are not taught to take on the new job, in this case, prompt engineers or whatever the words are right now, the new titles, they're going to be in trouble because these jobs are absolutely going to be. That is the point of putting $1 trillion into the technology, right?
Right.
We are about to see a huge displacement of human beings when it comes to work.
Wow. SHRM's a large organization that you manage. How are you using at SHRM, or how do you plan to use AI at SHRM?
So we made the tool available
without
any particular instruction for people to dibble and dabble in it and to experience it. Obviously, there's some privacy concerns and access to our data, and so we had to figure that part out.
Right.
We're actually taking people through mandatory training, and everyone at one time is going to do it. And so, take an afternoon off, and we're going to spend 2 hours. We're going to take you through it because everyone says they use it, but they kind of use it to respond to a little memo, or so they don't they don't understand the power of this technology.
Disruption is at the center of many concerns about AI. For Johnny, the key to allaying these concerns is being prepared. Maybe it's that kind of preparation that helps some people reach the next most common feeling about AI, according to that Pew report: hopeful. 36% of workers feel hopeful about adding AI to their workplace. That's roughly 1 in 3 employees across age, income, and education levels. And one of these hopeful people is Aaron Shapiro, founder and CEO of Carver Edison. I asked him where he sees AI coming into play in his business.
In highly regulated environments like financial services, precision is critical. So using artificial intelligence for things like customer service, education, precision is critical, because even if 99% of it is right, if 1% is wrong, that could have huge implications.
How about the future of AI within the industry, within equity in general? Where do you think it's going?
I think at some point it's going to be really powerful. The limiting factor in this industry is going to be data quality. I think actually the biggest roadblock in AI adoption for the equity industry is actually going to be data quality coming from the issuers. If and when that gets solved, I think AI will ultimately be unleashed. First and foremost, though, it probably starts with customer service, and then for the lower tier stuff. And then beyond that, if the data quality question can be answered, I think there's a whole set of things that will be unlocked.
If AI is going to have a major impact on the workplace benefit space, there's definitely still work to be done, especially around Aaron's point of data quality. But as that gets dialed in, there's potential for even further advancements down the line. Henry Ward, founder and CEO of Carter, has a unique perspective on how AI is impacting his work, one I hadn't heard before.
I don't care about headcount reduction. What I care about is where can we use AI to create a differentiated user experience? So what does AI allow us to do for the customer that we couldn't do without AI beforehand? We do a lot of accounting software. Instead of a human finding an error, can the AI find mistakes before the human does? And you move into a error-free accounting system, right? Like things like that, which you couldn't do without something smart under the hood. So we look at those types of things. Most people working on AI problems today are thinking prompt-based. They're like, how do I create a smarter prompt? And our view is the prompt is like the static HTML page of 1996, where everybody was like, static HTML, that's the internet. And you're like, no, that's the UI of the internet version 0.1, right? And that's not the internet. It's the fastest way we could expose the end user to the internet was through a static HTML page, but that's not the internet. Our view is the prompt is the same. In 5 years, nobody will use a prompt. Like, it just doesn't make sense, because the problem with prompts is I have to think of the question to ask, right? And that's almost as much work as getting the answer. Skate to where the puck's going to be. What does LLMs look like when you don't have a prompt?
There's a clear through line here. AI isn't just about automation. It's also about augmentation. And when it's treated as an opportunity, employees might be able to move from concern to possibility. But it's a lot, it's new, and it's all happening really fast. So it's no surprise Pew found that 33% of workers feel overwhelmed. That could mean 1 out of every 3 employees may be emotionally checking out, which impacts employee productivity and well-being. When I asked Sri Krishnamurthy, fintech and data science educator and founder of Quant University, about the prevalence of this feeling towards AI, he wasn't surprised.
I'm overwhelmed too. I mean, like every semester when I teach, I have to change the topics because 6 months ago what I thought is no longer the state of the art today. Every few weeks, every few months, things are changing. It's no longer sufficient to think about AI literacy. You have to think about AI fluency. Wherein like we are going to be bringing these AI tools into the workplace and what that's potentially going to do. We have to take the responsibility to ensure that the various stakeholders and the users of these tools are empowered to use them in the proper way, right? So I think education is key. Education needs to come first before we can actually leverage the value out of the whole thing. So this notion of overwhelming aspects of these will come in just because you are giving them the tools but not really helping them understand the power of it. So giving them the education will alleviate, at least, sifting through what's nice and what should be the focus at this point in time.
Without that foundational knowledge, what Sri calls AI fluency, the pace of change will continue to overwhelm employees. So I asked Ben Wiggert, former director of research and strategy at Gallup, for his thoughts on a big challenge companies are facing today: how to reskill and upskill their employees when it comes to AI.
In reality, only about 50% of knowledge workers use AI at all, and only about 15% use it daily. And that's because there hasn't been well-coordinated efforts by most organizations to deploy a clear strategy, to communicate how you use it, what the guidelines are, and to provide training to use it in your role to make it applicable. There's kind of a lot of generic training and learn on your own, which is totally fair because every single one of us is learning on our own, but that is the challenge. Like, adoption's been the challenge.
Without a clear and coordinated strategy, including role-specific training and guidance, AI adoption remains slow and inconsistent. And in order to unlock the power of AI, people need to be using it. Some people in companies already are, and they're enthusiastic about it. Which brings us to the last feeling in the Pew Research Center report, excitement. 29% of employees report feeling excited about AI. And that excitement can be pivotal as it signals readiness and opportunity. Here's Christine Zwirling, head of stock administration at Asana, with what her company is doing around AI and how she feels about it on a personal level.
So our company is very into AI. So there was a big structure push towards everybody start using AI, figure out how to use it where you can. We have certain people that need to get pre-clearance before they trade. So that uses an AI structure in the background to when they submit their form, it reviews the form to make sure they filled it out correctly. Because often they won't check things and it'll kick it back to them and say, hey, you didn't answer this question. Please answer the question. They go back, they fix it, it resubmits it, it checks it, sends it to us and says, hey, it's all filled out correctly. Approved or not approved, we approve it, and then the AI runs through the rest of its stuff. And I'm excited about it. I think it is a little terrifying because there are no guardrails right now and the things that you can do with it. I mean, we've seen, the movies and that type of thing. It's scary what it can do, but it's also exciting to see what it can do because it can do those mundane things that free us up to do bigger things. So I'm cautiously excited.
Okay. Using AI to help human talent focus on their top priorities can help streamline projects, increase efficiencies, and even support employees' professional development. Liz Dennis, Managing Director and Head of Global Client Coverage at Morgan Stanley, also touched on how AI plus a human touch can be a powerful combination when it comes to the work she does with executives.
I think it's only going to get more interesting as AI essentially becomes an interaction layer between our clients and our financial advisors. Clients are just going to continue to be that much more discerning around service levels and data because AI is making it so quick and immediate for them to get information. So it doesn't mean that I don't worry/panic every once in a while as I think what my kids are going to study in school and what their jobs are going to be, and am I going to have to work until I'm 85? But it makes me excited because I think it actually amplifies the human element and it makes us potentially focus more on being empathetic, being good listeners, thinking about how we communicate more effectively. Before we had this AI-driven sort of integrated client data lens, we didn't have a very good way of doing that. Or if we did it, it would take us days and days to get the analysis done, and by the time we printed it out, it might be stale. Then delivering that holistic service to our clients, we're doubling down on that human experience. We're doubling down on the talent that we have.
So it's the technology plus the strategy, breaking down silos to better serve the client.
I love that. I think you should say it again so I can steal it from you, Rodney. That sounded really good.
Excitement is high when AI is learned, applied, and aligned with human strategy. That combination can create real value for clients, employees, and the bottom line. It's clear that AI is already changing the way we work, and there is likely even more change on the way. So, how do you feel about it? Worried, hopeful, overwhelmed, or excited? Remember to check out our other episodes to hear from some of our featured guests in full. And if you're interested in more conversations about workplace financial benefits, follow the show wherever you like listening to or watching podcasts. You can also visit us at morganstanley.com/atwork. Invested at Work is brought to you by Morgan Stanley at Work, hosted by me, Rodney Bolden. Our executive producers are Fiona Kelsey and Lisa Boyce. Our production partner is Sequel Media Incorporated.